Alright, you guys, so today we're going to address another body modification related issue. So, given our current situation, a lot of people have been on lockdown for a couple weeks now. I'm kind of upset because this situation could have been controlled in January, but nobody gave enough fucks. So, now a lot of people have been on lockdown, and I've noticed that since this whole crisis has started, a lot of people who've been scared and staying home are doing tattoos and piercings at home and then promoting the shit. Now, we've already discussed why that's dangerous and why it's putting people's health at risk, right? Because impressionable people think any old Joe Schmo with a sharp object or a buzz pen can make someone beautiful. It's not how that fucking works. Okay? But I've noticed there's been a rise in home piercings and tattoos. You can't just shove any old jewelry in any old place and think it's gonna fucking work. It's not how that works, okay? But also, I'm gonna tell you, in at least Virginia and in some other places, not sure which places have and haven't done it, but it's spreading. A lot of businesses, if you can't do your job 6 feet apart or with less than 10 people in the space, then you can't operate, or if you're not an essential business, you can't operate. So, tattoo shops have been closed for 30 days until we can get this shit under control, which is why y'all need to stay in the fucking house so I can go get inked, okay? Pulls and thank. But anyways, just because the shops are closed doesn't give you an excuse to do this at home. Okay, some people be like, man, I've been wanting my stepmom pierced for 3 fucking years, man, and then the fucking shop's closed when I go to get it. Man, if you've been daydreaming about something for 3 years, there is no fucking way that you were ever gonna do it. Daydreaming about a piercing for years? Bitch, stop being a pussy. Just do it, okay? But don't do it at home. Just go to the shop, okay? Because, let me tell you something. When I first started getting piercings, I'm scared of needles. You wouldn't think it by looking at me, but, needles scare the shit out of me. All needles. Okay, medicine needles, tattoo needles, piercing needles just scare me, okay? Because they're pokey, and they're owie, and it hurts, okay? This shit doesn't tickle. It doesn't feel good. Okay, kind of. Kind of feels. Okay, I get something out of it. Kind of. That's not the case with everybody, okay? I'm just a freak. That's just all there is to say about that, okay? But needles are scary, and they're pokey, and they're owie. So some people are scared. I'm scared at first. But then it's like, ooh, it's over with? Oh, you're touching and cleaning? Oh, yes, bitch. Because my piercer's kind of hot, so, I really like his attention, So I'm touching all up on my face and my shit. Yes. It's just nice. Anyways, aside from that shit, okay? Maybe that's why y'all should go see some piercers, because 9 times out of 10, they're hot, okay? It's just worth the visit, okay? Okay? Don't get pierced by your sack of potatoes best friend with a sewing needle at home. Get pierced by the hot people at the shops who know what they're doing. Yeah? Yeah? Pretty piercer? Pretty piercing? Yeah? Yeah? You know you want to do it. But anyways, my point is, a lot of people have asked me a lot about shops because I frequent tattoo shops. I'm in there a few times a month, every fucking month, looking, doing my research about my next tattoo, my next piercing, setting up appointments, shit like that, because I'm never not getting new shit. And, even as my stuff's healing, I go in there and I make sure that, I'm doing everything right, Kind of like when you're having a baby and you go to all them appointments and shit to make sure that your baby comes out all happy and healthy and nothing's wrong with it. That type shit. I do that for my piercings and my tattoos. I check up. I get checkups for my shit. Make sure everything's good. And a lot of people have asked me about shops. Now, we're going to talk about our particular area, the Richmond area. I can't really speak for other shops in other states and countries because I haven't really been there. You should probably talk about local people when you're trying to find local shops, But as far as the Richmond area where I live, of course I'm going to name, some of my favorite shops. I'm not going to name any shops in particular, like by name in this video, just because I don't want to like get in trouble or anything type shit. Um, but like usually when people are like, where should I go for like piercings or like tattoos or like they'll name like some specific shit and I know like the best places to send them for exactly what they're looking for, just because I'm in and out of shops all the time and I know what shops are best at what things. Like I know the individual artists and piercers in these shops very, very well. And I know what they're capable of and I know what they specialize in. So I know where to send people, you know? I'm just helpful like that. And, you know, I'll be like, you know, of course, at first I'll name like my favorite shop, the one that I frequent the most, and then their sister store, and then a few of the other ones that like I've seen nothing but good shit come out of there, had nothing but good experiences in there, and I'll send them that way. But then, you know, I've had a couple people be like, look, you know, do you think you could check out the shop for me? Like, I'm kind of nervous. And I'm like, what are you scared of? They're going to buzz at you? Bzzz, that going to scare you? You going to shit your pants? You know? But whatever, you know, I get bored. I need something to do. So I'll go check out these shops. And I went into this one shop and the first thing I noticed is it was very plain in there. That's not normal for most American tattoo shops anyways. Tattoo shops in America are very well decorated. Tattoo shops in other countries are usually a little different. Like Japanese tattoo shops, they're pretty plain, pretty open. I mean, there's some art on the wall, but like it's very open, you know, like so there's nothing restricting the flow of energies in the space. You know, everything's very open, connected. You know, that's how a lot of Asian tattoo shops in general are, is just very open, you know. Whereas here in America, the tattoo shops are like more of an intimate space, you know, it's kind of just a you and your artist type deal, you know, kind of closed off. Like some of them have booths where it's like walls in between with like a little doorway, you know, and like the booths, it's not like closed up to the wall like the piercing rooms are, you know, in piercing rooms you can get like shit below the belt type shit pierced. You don't need everybody in the shop seeing that shit, okay? That's a private experience. But like the booths, they come up to like the waist or like almost the chest. They don't connect all the way to the wall. And then in other shops, they have like their own little room with a door and everything, and it's completely closed off because some people like privacy, and also that's just how some buildings are as far as where the shop is. You know, but I noticed it was very, very plain. Super plain. And had, like, the worst possible fucking lights. They had those fluorescent lights that you have in, like, schools and office buildings and shit. And I was like, ew. No. That was already a red flag. Because that's, like, the worst fucking light ever. Like, it makes shit look different than it is, you know? Makes people look pale and it changes colors a little bit. So like it's just not a great light to tattoo under anyways. So that was a fucking red flag. But then I noticed all the flash on the wall looked pretty much like coloring page type shit. Like it was just like it looked like it was printed out. Like tattoo flash when it's done in shops, it looks exactly like the tattoo would look when it's put on you. So that way, like for shit like American Traditional, you know, American Traditional, all of them look the same, you know, like all the clipper ships look the same, all the nautical stars look the same, all the daggers look the same, the swallows and shit, they look the same. Swallow's a bird, and like they all look the same and shit, you know, because that's just the style, you know. You can change up the colors and shit to a certain degree without it no longer really being true American Traditional. So, like, for shit like that, yeah, of course you go and pick it off the wall. And it's like, okay, yeah, everybody's got that, but, like, it's American Traditional. You can only change it but so much until it's no longer American Traditional. You know what I mean? Be like, oh, everybody I know's got a nautical star, but, like, theirs are, like, red or black or blue. Okay, well, bitch, get a green one. Get a yellow one. Get a fucking rainbow one. You can pick whatever fucking colors you want because it's your tattoo. Which tattoo artist is going to tell you, no, you can't have that color? Bullshit. They'll put whatever color wherever you want because you got to wear it, not them. You know, but like if you making some ridiculous choices and it's going to look like shit, some artists are going to be very frustrated because they don't want their name attached to something that looks like shit. So, you know, don't come in for retarded ass tattoos. Like come in there for some good shit, you know? Don't go in there to get a dick tattooed on your face, because then you're gonna end up with a nickname like Chode Cheek Jeremy or some shit, and like, that artist don't want that on their name. They don't want to be attached to that shit. Nobody does. So like, don't do shit like that. Just don't. Okay? But Flash, it looks just like the tattoo would. And, you know, some of them, you know, tattoo artists, they're still artists, you know. They do more than just tattooing, a lot of them. You know, they paint, they draw in their spare time, you know, because if art is all you do, and it's like permanent art, like there's no getting rid of it, you know, like if you make a bad drawing, you can just shred it or throw it away, or like if you have a bad painting, you can just put it in the shed where nobody sees it, or burn it, or whatever the fuck. You can get rid of that if you don't like it. A tattoo, if you don't like it or it doesn't turn out good, there's no getting rid of it. I mean, you can wait for it to fade and cover it up. I mean, but seriously, nobody likes getting cover-up tattoos. It's like, it should have just been done right the first time, you know? Or get it lasered off, which is super expensive, because for every $100 you spent on your tattoo, you're going to spend $2 to laser it off. So, like, if you have a $600 tattoo, it's going to be about $1,200 to even hope that it will come off. Yeah. Also, it smells like burning flesh, and your skin blisters up, and it's gross, and it's just not cool. So, get shit done right the first time, because bargains are for flea markets, not body modifications, okay? If you get a $600 tattoo for $60, trust and believe, it's gonna look like shit. It's going to look like shit. You know why? Because you're not taking care of your artist. If you take care of them, they'll take care of you. Okay? All I'm gonna say about that. Because when you try and bargain with someone, when that's their livelihood, like you're trying to haggle and it's gonna take food out of their mouths, I don't think they'd be taken too kindly to some shit like that. Okay? So just pay them what they deserve to be paid for their work. Okay? It's just the right thing to do. This is how these people eat. Okay? This is how they live. Okay? But flash art in a tattoo shop is supposed to be done by artists in that tattoo shop, whether past or present, you know, because, you know, everybody knows people die, you know. Not everybody's going to live to tattoo forever. You know, eventually we have to move on. We have to pass on. And, you know, because death is not the end, it's just the beginning, you know. We have to start our next journey. You can't tattoo forever, sadly. You can't pierce forever. You can't garden forever. You can't do everything forever, okay? Eventually we retire, and eventually someday we meet our ends. So, you know, a lot of shops will keep the flash for, like, the old artists and people who've passed and shit. They keep the flash up because that's memories, you know, that's moments shared in that shop, you know, because that artist, they've already left a piece of them behind on every last one of their canvases, you know. But at the same time, what does the shop have? Those people don't stand around and take up space to be the art that covers the shop. No, they go on and live their lives with that little piece on them, you know? So what does the shop have? They have the flash on the walls, and they have the pictures. That's what they get to keep, you know? And it also helps show, like, the quality of work that comes out of that shop. You know, it's very important that your flash be done by your artists, you know? And sometimes life happens and people have to move, you know? But it's nice to keep, some shops keep the flash, other times they're like, hey man, you should just take this with you to wherever it is you're going so you can put it up wherever you set up next. You know, it really just depends. And a lot of the flash, you know, is present artists, you know, they have their signatures on it and everything, and you can tell, like, each individual artist, like, we as people, everything we do is unique to us. You know, artists are no different. When they do their pieces, their paintings, their drawings, their tattoos, whatever, it is unique to them. You can look at their pieces and specifically be able to tell, be like, that is this person. You know, you can look at person A and person B and be like, those are not the same shit. They could both draw a nautical star and be like, that is not the same shit. They could both draw an owl and be like, those are not the same, you know? It could be the same kind of owl in the same pose, but like the way they go about it, they're not the same. You know, it is specific to that artist. And, you know, I don't like copycat artists. I don't like the whole like idea of being a tracer. Tracers are basically just people who just copy shit. They don't do anything special. They don't have anything unique to them. Those are tracers. You don't be that guy. Don't be that guy, okay? Because if it's not unique, then it's not worth doing at all, honestly. Unless it's a certain style of tattooing where it's like there are very set rules, you know, like Japanese tattooing, it has specific rules. Like there's quite a few of them. Also, like certain things, man. A lot of different styles have like certain rules that make that style. You know, it's like if it doesn't meet these sets of standards, then they're not this type of tattooing. You know, it's not that type of design, that type of art, you know? And I was looking, and their flash, none of it had signatures. None of it had color. And it was all just printer paper. And it wasn't framed. It was just taped all over the place. And that was a real red flag. And I was looking, they had a couple barber chairs. In a real tattoo shop, they have more than just a couple barber chairs. And there were no booths. There was nothing to separate the people, nothing. Like, they were sharing shit. I didn't see a sharps bin, nothing. And they said they did piercings, but there was no piercing room, booth, none of that. And I didn't see an autoclave anywhere. And I was looking around, I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, what are you doing, man? Like, what? Also, in real tattoo shops, like, they have more than just one type of furniture because, you know, you can't sit in one specific position and tattoo every single part of the body on every person. Like they have those massage table things for, like, some pieces. They got, like, the face hole and shit. That's perfect for, like, head tattoos. That's how mine was done. I was laying with my face through the hole and shit while I tattooed the back of my head. And then they have, like, these dentist chair, barber chair looking things. And then they have, like, tables. And then they have, like, just these chairs, man. Like, you need to have your canvas in different positions to tattoo different places. Because it's one thing that your canvas is comfortable, but also you need to be comfortable. Because, like, if you're uncomfortable, you can't do your job to the best of your ability, you know? So, both of you need to be comfortable. That's why they have all different types of furniture for you to sit on, lay on, whatever, while they're doing their thing. And, you know, I was looking around in this shop. Not only did I not see it was super duper generic and plain, but sharing things is not cool. Like, what the fuck? Did you just get paper towels from somebody else's station? Like, did you just grab, like, I don't know what the rinse shit that it's made of, but, like, if you've ever gotten a tattoo, you know that periodically they spray you with this shit. It stings. It smells kind of funny. And they wipe it, and it stings, and it burns, but it wipes off the excess ink so they can see what they're doing, you know? It's kind of like when you're writing a long-ass letter and you got, like, graphite all over your hand and it's, like, smearing. It's the same deal, you know? You just gotta wipe your hands off and shit. But, like, they spray this stuff on you, and then they wipe it. You know, they also do it at the end it's kind of like a finish type deal. I don't know what it is, but it helps clean. I know that's what it does, but I don't know what it is because I've never asked. They were sharing that shit. Like, no, you don't do that. No. And also, I could tell that their tattoo guns came from Amazon. You want to know why? Because I've seen the same fucking tattoo guns on Amazon. Because my sister wanted to get into tattooing, and I was like, okay, well, great way to start. Buy a kit on the internet and tattoo things like fruit. Like, you start out tattooing fruit and, like, pigs and whatever, and, like, butchered meat skins and shit. Like, you don't jump right into tattooing people. Like, you don't. You practice on inanimate shit and animals. Because fuck it. They're just gonna be eaten anyways, so who gives a shit, you know? Tattoo a pig. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody cares. But, like, you don't start out tattooing people. You don't. And some of these people, like, I'm looking at their shit, like, I'm walking around just curious, just looking around their shop, you know? And I'm like, I can't in good conscience tell anybody to ever fucking come here. Ever. Ever. Like, this shop didn't even have a fucking name. How are you gonna have a tattoo shop with no name? That's like some Polyphemus type shit when he got fucking poked in the fucking eye and his other giant friends were like, yo, who did this to you? And the dude who stabbed him in the eyeball, I forget the whole story, okay? I heard it in 3rd grade, but like, dude bro who stabbed him in the eyeball, this dude was a Cyclops, stabbed him in the eyeball, told him that it was nobody. So when his friends asked who stabbed him in the eyeball, he was like, nobody. And they were like, okay, so this motherfucker's retarded. Gotcha. It's the same deal. I think that's why they don't have a name. So that way when people come out of there with their shitty tattoos, they can't be like, oh, it was like this shop, insert name. Because there is no fucking name. They'll be like, oh, no name shop. What? Yeah, there's no fucking name. It's no sign, nothing, just no name. I'm like, that's the equivalent, that shop right there is the equivalent of getting tattooed in your homie's basement because my homeboy does tattoos. No, bitch. I get it, everybody has to start somewhere, but a basement is not the place to start. It's not. But I just wanted to touch on that because really when you go in and you're looking to get tattoos or piercings, you really need to look at your shop, you know? Like, you need to trust your surroundings. You need to know what to look for because, like, honestly, just looking at a shop, looking around, you can tell if it's a good shop or not. Like, you can look at the people in there. You can look at the flash. You can look at how clean shit is. You know, the separation between fucking booths and shit. Sorry, my eye really burns. You can look and see that shit. You know, you can just tell. You can look around and tell if it's a good shop or not. Also, another thing, you can try looking at reviews online. Some people are salty about certain shit, like this one really big girl. She was like, I went in there to get my belly button pierced by, not gonna name my specific piercer, and was like, he told me no because he couldn't even see my belly button. That's fucking rude. And I'm like, how are you supposed to pierce what you can't see, bitch? How about this? Stop eating your fucking feelings and writing shitty Yelp reviews and actually hit the fucking gym or get a gastric bypass, you fucking whale. Because I was looking at her picture and I was like, bitch, you're huge. When's the last time you've seen your belly button, bitch? Because it don't even look like you've seen your toes in like 6 years minimum. When's the last time you tied your shoes? But you want your belly button pierced. How are you supposed to pierce what you can't see? How? Like this one chick, she wanted her industrial done by him, and you see this curve right here? Okay, everybody's ears have their own unique shape, okay? Hers didn't have that curve. It was very flat. It was like this type deal. Like, it didn't have the ridge needed to do an industrial piercing. And he was like, see, I know that's what you want, but like, I can't pierce what's not there. Like, I can make something else work. Like, you can put, like, get this done, like, through the flat, let it heal. And then maybe got, like, there's these really cool things. I thought they were pretty interesting. Because some people, like, this part of their ear pokes out too much for them to get an industrial because the bar would, like, be squished up against it. And it just wouldn't go well. So, like, it's a hoop and another hoop, and they're connected by chains. They're seamless hoops. And you put it in, and it's great for people who want an industrial piercing, but can't wear the industrial barbell. You know? And he was like, we could do something like that, maybe, or whatever. And she got really, really sad because she wanted to wear the bar. And he was like, look, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just telling you, you don't have the curve. Like you see you in the mirror on the phone, in your selfies every fucking day. Like, you know what your body looks like. You know you don't have that ridge there. So you can't get upset at me for not being able to pierce something that is not there. And he was trying to be as nice as possible about it, you know, like he's not trying to be an asshole or discouraging. He's just saying, can't pierce what I can't see. Can't pierce what's not there. So that's why if you're the size of a fucking sedan, you shouldn't get your belly button pierced. Okay? Like, just being realistic. Even if he was to pull back all them fucking rolls and like get some fucking cords and like tie the shit down. You know, like when you can't get your trunk to close, so you get the stretchy cord with the hooks on both ends and you get it to stay down. Yeah, that type deal. If you got those to like pull the rolls back and shit and pierce it, how are you going to be able to clean it afterwards? You know, and also it's going to be smothered and suffocated and sweaty and gross, and it's probably going to get seriously infected and reject. Like, it's just not wise for really exceptionally big people to get their belly buttons pierced. Like if you a little curvy, a little chunky, a little thick, you can get your belly button pierced. That's fine, because you can still see your belly button. But like, you know, if you can still see your belly button, you should get it pierced if you want that. You know. But if you can't see it, you can't get it pierced. You know, like this one dude wanted me to pierce his nipples. All he had was areolas. There was no fucking nipples. Like, I can't pierce nipples if you don't have nipples. That's not how that works. What? Like, what? And this other chick was asking once upon a time, like, she had like really, really small earlobes. Like, her earlobes were basically like this, but like down here. Like, that she had little to no earlobe, and she's like, I want to get like my earlobes pierced. And I'm like, well, let me look. And her antitragus was like really prominent, and it was like kind of just like in the way. I was like, I don't think you would be able to do that, just because like, and I pointed it out to her and I showed her exactly why she couldn't do it, and she felt really discouraged. I'm like, hey, don't worry, like, look, the ear has got all these intricate things in it, like, you there's plenty of other shit you can pierce. Don't get upset that you can't get your earlobes pierced, or if you're the size of a sedan, don't get sad you can't get your belly button pierced. Like, there's a lot of you there, and you still got a whole face. Like, the head has so much shit, like, proof. There's so, like, look at these ears, man. They got all kinds of interesting little nooks and crannies and shapes and things that you can put jewelry in. So, like, don't get discouraged if your piercer tells you you can't do this certain thing, or if you want to put a type of jewelry in a certain piercing and they tell you it's not a good idea. Please listen to them, okay? Or if they tell you not to put certain things in certain places, listen to them, okay? Because your body piercers and your tattoo artists have your best interest in mind. I understand some of you think it's okay to get pierced at home because, oh, it's my best friend, they wouldn't do me wrong. Okay, but your best friend doesn't have all the equipment that a tattoo artist or body piercer would have in a shop. They don't have the experience. They don't have the knowledge. And I know that they might not be trying to hurt you, or they might not be trying to do you wrong, and they might have your best interest in mind, or so you both think. But if they have your best interest in mind, they will tell you to go to a shop, and they will help you find a good one. Because when you pierce each other at home, like, because they don't have the tools and because they don't have the experience, they could accidentally really hurt you. And if you try to pierce someone else at home, because you don't have the tools, because you don't have the experience, you could accidentally really hurt someone too. And I know you guys don't want to hurt your friends. Like, of course, you love each other. You're friends. You wouldn't want to cause them any unnecessary pain. You wouldn't want to hurt them or fuck them up. But, like, you really could if you tattoo or pierce each other at home. Like, I know a tattoo might not kill you like a tongue piercing gone wrong might kill you, but, like, you're going to permanently disfigure or possibly scar your friend. And they're going to have to spend a lot of money to get it lasered, which is awful. I mean, I'm not telling you not to get laser. I'm just telling you it's gonna stink like burning flesh. It's gonna blister. It's gonna hurt really bad. And it is very, very expensive. Very expensive. Like, it's just worth it to do things right the first time, you know? So don't be discouraged that tattoo shops are closed right now, okay? Just be patient. Please be patient, okay? Like, I would hate to see any more people risking hurting each other or even hurting each other because, you know, I've seen 2 people now brag about piercing each other's tongues and genitals and other things at home. And I'm like, it is a miracle your dick still rises, bitch, because you could have fucked that shit up and it would never ever come up ever again. You are a very lucky man. But a man would be wise enough and patient enough to go to a shop. You, in fact, are an ignorant little boy. Okay? Men know that things are worth doing right the first time. Real women know that things are worth doing right the first time. You notice man and woman implies maturity versus little boy, little girl. It implies a level of maturity, you know? Only idiots think it's okay to pierce dicks at home. Okay, only idiots think it's okay to pierce tongues at home. These things are very dangerous and you can really hurt somebody, okay? These professionals have studied and trained for years on end to make sure that they can do what it is they do and to make sure that they are not causing you unnecessary pain, that you are in good hands, that you are safe. Like, they're here for you. They have your best interest in mind. And they have this skill to be able to take care of you. Okay? So, like, please be patient. Like, I'm begging you guys, do not do this stuff at home. Just because we're on lockdown and you're bored does not give you an excuse. Just because tattoo shops are closed does not give you an excuse. Just because you do not have the money does not give you an excuse. Okay, you need to be patient and, you know, quality costs is worth saving for because once you finally get it, it's like, oh, hell yes. Like, it's a whole different feeling, especially when you really work for it and you save up for it and you finally get it. Like, it just hits different than, hey, Becky, you busy? Nah, man, what's up? You trying to, like, pierce my tongue? Like, yeah, man, I mean, I'm not busy. Fuck it. You got any sewing needles and shit at the house? Some dirty earrings, maybe? Yeah, man, I got sewing needles and dirty earrings. Well, then shit, we said, let's go, bitch. We get our tongues pierced. Like, no. No, don't do that. Please, please don't do that. You could kill somebody like that. There's huge-ass, thick-ass veins and blood vessels and shit. I don't know the difference between an artery, a blood vessel, and a vein. All I know is they all got blood and they're all squishy and weird looking, okay? But there's a lot of them in the tongue and they're fat as shit, okay? And if you puncture it, you can kill somebody. They will bleed out and die. Or you could accidentally paralyze them. And then it'll be looking like this. Like, yeah, I got my tongue pierced from blind investment, but like, it was worth it. You know, like, you don't want that to be you. You don't. So, don't do things like that outside of shops. That's all I'm going to say about that. Look at the reviews and the people's work and shit, you know? Don't just do shit at home or go to any old fucking shop, you know? You are worth investing in. Get yourself the good shit the first time, so that way you don't have to learn a painful and expensive lesson.